Hey everyone, my name is Heidi and I'm coming to you from sunny Florida where I live with my significant other Bill. Today is Monday, April 8th and this is episode 50. On this channel today I'll be talking about knitting, a little bit of crochet and a little bit of cross stitch. A warm welcome to anybody that has come to stop by, whether you're new or returning. I'm so appreciative that you're here chatting with me. So before we get into the nitty gritty, I'll let you know that other than being on YouTube, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Yarn It Heidi. And if you like what you see today and you haven't subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate it if you click that like button and subscribe to my channel. Anything I talk about will be listed down in the description box. And if you want to ask me anything, you could also leave a comment and I'd love to converse with you that way. So today, besides all this hobbies that I'm doing, is the solar eclipse. So the whole world is out there watching. I hope I get to watch it. I don't have the solar sunglasses, so I was reading that you can get a piece of cardboard and put a pinhole in it and put it up to the sun and then look down and you can see the shadow of the eclipse. I might try that, or I could always watch it on TV. I am nervous about looking up the sun. I did read that it could be very bad for your eyes and do permanent damage, and I've already had things happen to my eyes, so I'm not gonna tempt anything with that. So so everybody's excited to see it. So that will be on later on at like 3 o'clock. So what else do I have to tell you before we go on? I think that's it. I think we should just get going. I have some whips and before the whips, we'll first do our finished objects. Okay, I have a few here. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3. Okay, the first one is, I have to reach over, is a pair of socks that I made for Bill. He liked the other pair and he wants another one. And I had the perfect socks for it. The perfect yarn. So these are called the Heel Toe Dosey Do socks by Kay Litton, also known as the Crazy Sock Lady. And the yarn is by, it's not a popular line. It's called Online and the colorway is Emotion. And with Bill, I did a size large sock. I'm not sure if it's extra large or, I think it's extra large. 72 stitches for him. And I used a size 1, 2.25 millimeter needles, 2 circulars going around. So what I did was, for the cuff, I did 2 rows with a pop of color. Here they are. It was in my stash, the pop of color. And then I did, 2 rows of that. And then I did 13 rows for the, it's a 1x1 twisted ribbing. Then I did, for the leg, 60 rows. Oh, by the way, wait, before I even do that, these are toe-up. I did these toe-up socks just in case. I wanted to make sure that I had enough to do everything, so that's why I did. But anyway, so the leg part is 60 rows. The heel is an afterthought heel, so I did that afterward with the stash yarn, okay, that I had in my stash. And then the foot part, I did 80 rows, and then I did the rounded toe with the Judy's Magic cast on when I cast it on for the toe. And that's it. Oh, and for this bind off, because I did toe up, and I did not want to do just a standard protocol bind off because that will really tighten it up. So I did a sewn bind off, which the tutorial is also by the Crazy Sock Lady on that. And that was pretty easy to do. One of the easier ones that I've saw on YouTube for this sewn bind off. So yeah, so another pair for Bill for when we go up north and visiting, and we're also looking for a little place to buy just for a few months of the year. so that we could see our kids and take a break from the heat. By the way, the weather here has been outstanding for the last few days, finally with Florida, but it's going to be in like the low 80s today, which is pretty perfect for Florida. But soon enough, it will get into the high 80s and 90s because we are into April. Okay, I digressed a little bit. My next finished object, let me get it. I did an emotional support chicken a few weeks ago, and then that was called Cluckleberry. I named him, and this one is a friend of Cluckleberry that I made. So these are the biggest rage on Ravelry in the knitting world, and they also have a crochet one in the crochet world. It's an emotional support chicken. This one is by Annette Corsino, and I used stash yarn that I had by I think it's a Joanne Fabrics brand, the Big Twist Classic, and the colorway is Ocean Abyss, and a size 7 needle, and the crown, the beak, and the wattle is all from stash yarn. And yeah, it's so huggable. This one's being gifted to my son. He loved Cluckleberry, but he wanted his own. He said for me to keep that one. So this one I didn't name it because he wants to name it. And he's just so cute. They're fun to make, but of course I always struggle with the sewing the pieces together. But I did a pretty good job, and they are huggable. Now I know why they're called the emotional support chicken. They are really so huggable. So yep, so that's another finished object, but I'm gonna stop doing the emotional chickens for a little bit. I need a break. I need a break from doing them because it's a lot of back and forth, and yeah, and you think it's a quick knit and it's not. So I said, let me just hold off unless somebody really wants one from me. I'm gonna stop for a little bit on that. Okay, the next one is a crochet object, but it is a new technique that I've been getting into called Tunisian Crochet, and I made what they call a tea towel, or I'm going to use it like a dish towel, and it's Tunisian Crochet. So this is it fully. At first I thought it was coming out so big, then I measured it up against my other dish towels, and it is actually smaller because you fold it up and it looks like this. So this is a pattern by Tony Lipsy. It's they're called the Tea Towel and Tunisian Crochet, and I used a hook size I, which is a 5.5 millimeter. The yarn is by Circulo, the Amurigumi base, and the colorway, there was no colorway color on it. So I used 2 different colors, as you can see. The only thing I need to learn with the Tunisian Crochet, I already made a couple of, are they pot holders or dish wash, not dish towels, what are they called? Dishcloths. I already made a couple, and it was easy to add the color in, but I did not know how to carry the yarn on this one. The other one, it was every other row, but this case, I really didn't know how. So along here, see, not crazy about that. I have to learn how to do it. I guess I'll Google it or go on YouTube to find out how you can carry the yarn in Tunisian Crochet, because I don't like that. But other than that, it's a dish towel. I'm going to use it. It's washable. It's cotton. It's 100% Brazilian cotton, and yeah, a new thing for my household. So I kind of like it. Again, I'm not going to rush to make another one because that took so long. I don't know why. Just to go across and then back is like one completed row, because they call it a front pass and then a return pass. So that's considered like one completed row. Anyway, it took a while to do it. My last one is a cross stitch one. I finished it. It's called the Stitchy House for the month of May by Erica Arndt. Also, her website's Confessions of a Homeschooler. By the way, all these patterns will be linked down below in the description box in case you're interested. So yeah, I love this. I'm making all 12 months eventually to put on a board, to hang and to switch on and off because it's kind of pretty. Yeah, so this is May. I jumped ahead because I want to try to get up to the month that I'm actually in that I could use, but I don't think so on this one either because I have decided that with all my stitching work that I am going to send off to a finisher because I am just not good at it. I try so many times and I'm never happy with what I do with it. So with my time putting into all these beautiful stitching work, I don't want to stress out about how to finish it. So I'm going to send it out once I get a few different pieces worked up. I already have another piece that I'm finishing up. I'll send off like 3 to a finisher that they can make it more beautiful and more perfect than what I can do. Yeah, so that's just a little information. I use stash floss, whatever was in my stash. I don't know if I used her exact colors, but maybe similar. And the linen is in my stash also. I just know it's like a 24 count linen. So that's it. It's so pretty. I can't wait till I finish it off and it looks more professional looking. So that is it for my finished objects. Let's move on to works in progress. I don't have a lot. I do have one big one, the Coziest Memory Blanket. I don't want to show that yet because when it's done because it's just no sense of showing it every week. I just do a few squares at a time to add on to it, and then it's just boring to present. So when it's getting close, or maybe when it's done, I will bring it out and show it to you, because the last time I showed it, it looked like a lot was done, but then when I added more, just say I added 10 or 15 more squares, it still doesn't look like I did much, so no point in showing you guys. Okay, so the next, I've probably shown this to some of you who've watched. If not, and you're new, you'll see it. I'm making progress on my Tulsa tee. This is a pattern by Rebecca Clow. Let me just check to see if I'm right. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's Clow or Clow. Her last name is C-L-O-W. I would think it's Clow, like owl, but it could be also Clow, like pillow. I don't know. I'm sorry. So I'll say it both ways, Clow or Clow. So this is a Tulsa tee, and it's coming out. It's getting far. So I have to tell you, this is one of the simplest patterns that I've ever done to make for a sweater. If you're a first-time sweater knitter, I would recommend this pattern. Now, I like this pattern because she gives you so many options. When I started it, I didn't know that I could do all these different options and when to do it. So by the time I got far enough and I said, oh, I could do a different option on this sweater, I was too far gone to make that change. So she has one with, you could do stripes, and also like eyelets, a lace pattern you can do that I saw. There's all kinds of variations. And like I said, I got too far before I could make any change. But if you are a new sweater maker, perfect to just do what I'm doing, the simple, tee, no changes, just the sweater, no eyelets, no stripes, just straight down, straight knitting, like a raglan. Oh, it's just so easy and fun. So, okay, the details. So, I'm doing a size 3 sweater. I had to go up because my gauge was off, which it always is. Very rarely is my gauge on, I guess because I'm not consistent and I'm a loose knitter and I'm a continental knitter. So because my gauge was off, I went up a size sweater, which is a size 3 sweater, and down size needles, which is, I'm using 2 1/4, 2 for the ribbing on the neckline and probably on the bottom, on the ribbing on the bottom, and the 4 for the body. So yeah, so I'd say I'm halfway done with at least the body, And then I'm going to do something that somebody from the membership I belong to, the Love and Stitches membership, she said she always does like a split hem on the bottom. And I would love that because it would give me some room and it wouldn't like hug me in. And that's where all my stuff that I don't want seen shows on the bottom of me. So she splits a hem and she told me how to do it. So I am so excited to get to that part and try to do a split hem on my own. And what's great about this membership is if I have troubles or I'm stuck, I could ask her what to do. And it sounds simple enough to do a split hem. She just said split the stitches, the front and the back, and just go back and forth on each part. And that's it. It sounds so simple. That's what I love about this community is that I would never improvise because I just didn't know how. But when somebody tells you and it's that simple, I love it. So I love this community. I really do. That's why I podcast. It's just, anyway, that made my day. So that is it on this sweater. It's the yarn is circular, the and base, 100% Brazilian cotton, and the colorway is turquoise. So that's it. It's coming along. This is like my Zoom knitting, my waiting at a doctor or any appointment knitting, just knit, and car knitting, anything. Because it's so, I'm at the body now, and that's it. So that's number one. My second one, I'm so excited about this one. This is on my Make 9 list because I loved seeing it on other people on Instagram, and I had to make it with my advents that I got last year. So this is going to be a poncho. It's called the Corey in Poncho. Let me get it. By Ann Palco. Okay, so this is it so far. It doesn't look like much, but it's going to go like this. And it's getting big, so it's really scrunched on the needles. Let me see if I can, I don't want to take it off because my markers are all there. So this is the poncho. It's going to look like this. The yarn that I'm using is for my Advent of 2023 by Chelsea Luxe Yarns. And so I loved, she did it also. Christina from Chelsea Luxe Yarns. She did it, and I saw it on Instagram, and I loved hers. And I think she used her Advent too. So I messaged her on Instagram. I said, how did you do your colors and this and that? And she told me, she was so nice to tell me what she did. And the only thing is, next time with this ribbing up on top, I'm going to make maybe a 2-inch. I did, actually the pattern calls for a 4-inch ribbing up here. And next time, so I said, okay, 4 inches is way too high. I'll do 3, but next time I think I'll even do 2 or 1 because I don't like anything too high up. But I might be bringing this to Rhinebeck this year. I'm going to Rhinebeck. So anyway, it's Chelsea Luxe Yarns. What else can I tell you? I'm doing it as per pattern because I'm not doing a gauge on it. It's a poncho. It looks like it will fit because it's supposed to be big and loose. Size 6 and 8 needles. And so how I'm using my minis from the Advent, but it's also held together with mohair. I think the pattern calls for like you held 2 fingering together. So I'm using also from Chelsea Luxe because I asked her what she used, and she held it together with one of her mohairs called Sunken Treasure. So beautiful. What a beautiful mohair. It's soft, it knits well with the yarn, and it is stunning. I can't even tell you. So she texted me back and said for each colorway, for each mini, she did an inch. And she only did like 19 colorways because then it was getting too big. Now she's taller than me, so maybe I only need less. I don't know. But there's a lot of increasing because it starts out small and then you go and like that. So that's what it is. I'm so excited to make this. Again, this is easy knitting. Every other row is an increase and it's just going to get bigger and bigger. I saw like Chelsea, hers is a little cropped. I'm not doing the cropped. I want to hide that stuff and I'll go as far as I can. If I run out of minis, I'll just add from something else. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Right now I'm on like mini 8. So, and I have, I don't know, 12 more, not 14, 15 more, maybe 15 more, 16. So, anyway, that's called the Korean Poncho by Amy Palco. Loving it. Oh, the size needle, I forgot to mention that. What did I say? Oh, 6 and 8, I did mention it. Yeah, so 6 for the ribbing, 8 for the body. Yeah, so that's that. Okay, now the next one, do I have one more? Oh yeah, okay. I decided to participate in, because it's such a good cause, a make-along that Darcy from Chit Chat Knits is doing. It is called the Knit Nat Mal. I'll put a hashtag tag here. Knit Lit Mal, and what it is it's almost like for how do I put this? Try to pair up a yarn. She wants you to try to pair up a yarn with one of your favorite or one of books that inspired you of a children's book. And then donate the book to either a library, one of those small little libraries that people put up in different places, or a school, anything, or even people, kids that you know, or just give the book to somebody, because we want to inspire reading, motivate reading. So that's right up my alley. I used to be a preschool teacher, and I loved children's books. That was my knack, is getting the best books to read to kids, and I love them too. So the book that I picked, because I used to read it to my kids all the time, and it was just a beautiful book. It made me cry every time I read it, and I still sometimes put it in the cards, one of the sayings in the book. It's called I Love You Forever, and I'll put a copy of the book up on the screen. And I had the perfect yarn to go with the cover of that book. So this is the yarn. Let me see if I have okay, it's in my little cozy. It's so perfect for this book. It's called I Love You Forever. And the pattern that I chose, since Darcy from Knit Nat Chits is doing it, I said, let me use one of her patterns. So I did. It's called the Crisscross Socks. And it has this beautiful pattern. Let me show it to you. Look at that beautiful cabling in there. I love this pattern. It's so fun to do. So, okay, let's go first with the yarn. The yarn is from my Yarnable subscription box. So it's Yarnable yarn, and it is I have to look at my notes. Is it the December colorway? I think it's the December colorway. Yes, and it was called Frosty Fox, the colorway. It's such a beautiful yarn. And so it's like is it 15%? I think it's 85-15. Did I write it down? No, I did not write it down, but I have the tag in here. It's such a beautiful yarn. Yeah, it's 85 superwash merino and 15% nylon. So this is the pattern by Knit Nat Chits and Yarnable yarn, and I'm using 2 circulars, size 1, 2.25 millimeter needles. I'm doing a size small for me, size 56 stitches, and I did the cuff. Let me see. Oh, I did a little pop of color on the cuff for my stash. So 2 rows of that, then 13 rows of, I think it's a 1x1 ribbing. And then I'm doing the pattern as indicated. I'm doing 5 repeats of the pattern, and then I just started the heel flap. Yeah, so this is in progress. It's only sock 1. Hopefully the next time I talk, I'll have either the other sock, either this finished, or maybe if I'm a little gung-ho, I'll get both socks finished. So anything else to tell you about this? Nope, that I'm loving doing it. It is such a fun pattern with this cabling. And you know what? After doing the repeats, after like 1 or 2 repeats, I knew that how to do the cables by heart, like, because there's a few different capable ways of doing this. And yeah, it's pretty, if you know how to read your stitches, it's pretty simple to follow. And yeah, so I'm excited to finish that. Okay, I am done with my works in progress. Let's move on to life, because I have not one acquisition. I've been really good because believe me, I get tempted so bad, and I've been holding off on clicking. But I did order an Advent because I love the theme and somebody recommended it and it kept popping up on my feed and I ended up getting it. So I'll talk about that later on. Right now, it's too early to talk about Advent. It's only April, but I am starting to look to see, because that's when all these dyers are putting out their stuff, or makers. So later on with that. So let's move on to life. Life has been pretty good here. Let's see what we did. See, I even forgot. I tried to write it down. Oh, the first thing is I participated in the Knit for Food, hosted and run by Laura Nelkin, where you there are 4 different organizations that we are knitting for, that are promoting charity donations for food insecurities. And I wanted to do that because what better cause to help the world and also to knit. Perfect. So I knitted for 12 hours and I had some people sponsor me, which I'm so thankful for and grateful for, helping me support this cause. And it was a lot of fun. And then you go on Zoom all day and see the different organizations speak about what they do, which is amazing. And so thankful that they do that and they help. And after all done and said, Laura Nelkin's organization, this whole Knit for Food, raised over, with all the sponsors, donations, over $379,000, which beat last year's goal. So that is pretty amazing that we can make an impact on the world out there. So I was so happy to be a part of that, and it's so worthwhile. Any kind of charity work to me is a plus, and you're helping. Even if you have one person, you've done your job in this world. So I did that. That was Knit for Food. And then we've been fishing. Like Bill loves to fish, and he got this license. Now he could fish on the intercoastal. So we went there. It was such a beautiful day, and he went fishing there, and I knitted while he fished. I couldn't have been in a happy place. I was knitting on that dish towel. And then I'm like so brain dead today. So I joined this newsletter here in Florida, where it's a company that if you join their newsletter, they have all the local shows in the theaters at a discount price by you submitting your name and your entry, and they pick you randomly. Well, you can get picked randomly to see the local shows in these local theaters at a discounted price. And so why not? You can't lose. So I submitted into a couple of plays, and a few weeks ago I submitted to see Sister Act at a beautiful local theater, and we won. So we saw that, and so then I put in for a few other shows, and I just got picked for another show called The Prom, and you get really discounted. Like more than 50% off on these tickets. So I got picked. So me and Bill went this past Friday night, and it's at a beautiful theater here. You feel like you're at a Broadway show, because it was a Broadway show up in New York City. We had no idea what it was about, but let me tell you, this show was outstanding. We loved it so much, and I can't believe we got picked. Not only did we get picked, but our seats were only like 8 rows from the stage. We had great seats, and even to boot, because I'm vertically challenged, I'm so small, one of the seats, we were like in the center, but I was on the end seat. Nobody was like blocking my vision. It was so perfect. And what's nice about it is you can get any kind of drink, alcoholic beverage or a regular beverage. They have snacks there, and it really is a beautiful night out. So me and Bill, we ate dinner out. Then we walked around the theater because it's close to the water, the Intercoastal. So we walked around, and it was so lively. They were having like all these food trucks around. We didn't eat there, but we saw that they had there. Then they had a cookie vendor, like a gourmet cookies. We bought that to bring into the theater. Don't tell anybody. No food allowed, but we snuck that in. And then, but Bill bought some beer at the theater anyway. And then we walked around the water. Then we walked up these steps and we went into the theater. And it was just fantastic. I don't know if the prom is still on Broadway in New York or anywhere else, but it was such a great show. Heartwarming, diversified, and I can't say enough. It was one of the better shows that I've seen in a long time. So check it out, the prom. Okay, TV and books. Let's see. I was recommended by my son to watch a show, a movie on Peacock, if you have it, called The Holdovers. Great. We didn't finish it only because there's a lot of sports going on, and because it's on Peacock and we could watch it at any time, we could hold off on watching The Holdovers and watch our sports until there's nothing going on for a night. So The Holdovers is about a curmudgeon type professor in a I don't know if it's a private school or a charter school for boys. And it's during a holiday break, and he's told that he has to stay with kids that have nowhere to go, and the kids that are held back are kind of like disgruntled, and then a couple of the kids get sent home, and one's left there, and he's like mad at the world and his parents and whatnot, and this teacher's trying to say, suck it up. And anyway, it's a great movie. I highly recommend it. It held my interest. I think the main actor, Paul Giamatti, he was nominated for an Oscar. So check it out. It's really good. So the other thing is, baseball started. I'm so excited. I'm a New York Yankee fan. So I'm loving that because right now they're doing so good. But even when they do stinky, I still love them. So that started, and Bill loves his Phillies. We got a package, so now that we can watch both. And of course, there's basketball. He's in some kind of pool with basketball. So today's the final game, and if his team wins, he wins the pool. So we're excited about that. And that is all that's going on. So today is the Eclipse Day. If you can get to watch it, I hope you enjoy watching it. It is history. I hope I get to see it too. So I'm going to run out now. I have some things to do, and I'll be back next week. So as always, I wish you peace and love in your life, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.